Alright guys, we're going to take a look at a game between Hut and MarineLord. We're going to mostly be looking at MarineLord's perspective here. As a lot of you may already know, MarineLord is probably the best French player in the game. At the moment, like the best with French. He just looks so clean right now. So we're going to mostly focus on MarineLord's build order. And how he approaches the game. Recently, Abbasid did get buffed in the patch, and a lot of people actually kind of consider Abbasid to be quite a solid matchup into French. So we'll see how this unfolds. Well, actually, a lot of you would already know how this unfolds. MarineLord does end up winning this, spoiler alert, but we're going to take a look into his build order and how he approaches the game here. So at the start, he's gone 7 on food, 1 to build a house. Going back on food. So he's going 7 food, and then on to gold. Don, what is it? What's your shower thought? So he's opened double scout as well, gone all around his own base and collected a fair bit of sheep here. I think it's still quite meta for French to go double scout just for more sheep, and a lot of the time they end up going pro scouts anyway, which is I know MarineLord's a huge fan of pro scouts with French. So he's gone 7 food, 3 gold. Back onto food it looks like. And then we're going back onto gold here. So I did check out MarineLord quite a while ago to see what his build was, and it doesn't look like it's changed at least yet. So he's going 8, 4. Then I believe he goes 1 more on food as well. So let's speed this up a little bit. Now he's coming under wood. Does look like he's overgathered gold a little bit. Not the end of the world though. Leaving the 4 on gold. I'm building the school of cavalry now with 4 villages and rallying new villas onto wood here. So it looks like he's probably going to go straight into professional scouts here, only because he doesn't have the food for a knight to begin with. So he's just going for an eco focus against the Abbasid. Likely not going to get much damage done with 1 knight. Abbasid is probably going to have pikes out by the time he gets there. So he's opting to go for professional scouts. He also isn't going to be under much threat in the early game against the Abbasid as well. So he's going pro scouts now. So he's only put 3 on wood, right? And then kept the 4 on gold. And then after he's finished this, brings all the villas back to food. And now producing knights. So he goes pro scouts and then a knight. So he doesn't delay the knight that much as I thought he would. So I guess his build order kind of allows for him to do this. So before, instead of massing up like a bunch of scouts, he opts to go for a knight first, to start putting some pressure on, relieving himself of any pressure on these hunts when he's trying to collect them. Hut going for spear horseman. Slow down a little bit here, and then he's going straight into a range. So after he has 14 vills on food, he's sending new vills to wood. Only 6 though. 7 to wood. Burying back the deer right now. Now Hut's trying to put some pressure on with his horseman here. I think... No, MarineLord's knight is now coming back. He may have actually lost one, I'm not sure. But now I'm just doing the standard knight archer build, only with 7 on wood at this stage. So To me, this suggests he's never gonna opt to go, or at least he doesn't plan on going for a second archery range. I think he's just gonna kind of put a bit of pressure on and then try age up off the back of that, but he may adapt based on what he sees come out from Hut. So right now, he's not even putting pressure on the eco of Hut, he's just trying to secure these hunts. So his second hunt did spawn quite far away, so he's prioritizing protecting that before actually like trying to put any pressure on Hut here. Hut looking to cut off his scouts though. Let's see how MarineLord reacts. I expect him to... No, he's not going to drop him. He's dropped one. Dropped two. Dropped all of them. So he's dropping him, keeping the scouts alive. Obviously, since the pro scouts nerf, they don't move as fast, so if you are under a lot of pressure, you're best off just dropping the pro scouts rather than sacrificing a couple of them. Scouts are also more expensive now, so MarineLord's opting to go for only 4 scouts here. So he is adding more to wood now. I think he's seen this huge ball of units from Hut, so he may look at getting a second archery range or a barracks down here. He's actually going for a stable. I guess he knows that that Hut has gone double stable and only 1 racks, so he feels confident with the single archery range to pick off the pikes here, and then the knights just clean up horsemen. I think I see at most levels, like adding in pikes here would be a good thing, but I think MarineLord is just so confident in his archer micro that he's not opting to go for pikes, rather just more knights. He can do more on the map with more knights, and if you got good micro, he'll get really good value out of them. So MarineLord on the defense for now. What's he looking at doing? He's on single TC, just all in at the moment. Now adding in a blacksmith for archer defense. MarineLord just looking around, seeing where he can pick off some stray units here and there. Pikeman's caught a little bit out of position here. Now deciding to turn back onto the horsemen so he can protect his archers. And looking to secure the deer again. So right now, if we take a look back at MarineLord, he's always keeping very heavy on food, 10 on wood and 8 on gold at the stage. So as soon as he started adding in more knights, he started putting another 4 on gold. So it looks like MarineLord likes to have 4 on gold for constant knight production. Plus he's getting like a few eco techs here and there, like he added in wheelbarrow. I didn't actually see exactly when it was. And Hut is kind of in a position where he has to think about probably aging up. Like a ram rush with horsemen, pikes is pretty suspect, but he's also knows that MarineLord is on double stable, so he could potentially die to like a big timing push if he decides to try and age up. He doesn't really have the resources at the moment to look at doing that, so he's still continuing to produce units. But yeah, MarineLord adding in wheelbarrow quite early here. Now, only adding in a blacksmith now. A lot of French players tend to add it in early to get the +1 attack on the knights. But clearly, MarineLord just values getting things like wheelbarrow and more military production out. So maybe Hut is looking to age up. He has 5 on gold, 400 gold banked. It's still spending units, money on pikes right now. Yeah, I agree with Ho-Ho. Wheelbarrow, for those of you who aren't sure when you should be getting eco techs, first thing I recommend is always go wheelbarrow first. The value you get on wheelbarrow far surpasses any other early eco tech. Wheelbarrow effectively works on all of your units, all your villages. And I think a lot of people underestimate how much resources is lost by travel time. I think Hut also went for a wheelbarrow in Age 2 transition. I think you will see this quite common across a lot of different top players now. So if you wanna say stay single TC because you're up against French or you're playing as French, I recommend always getting an early wheelbarrow if you aren't going for like a double TC or something and you still want to have a good eco. But you should never leave wheelbarrow till like age 3 unless you're going like a fast castle. So MarineLord doing a good job at distracting some of his army and then taking engagements over here. I think that's one thing that he does so well with French. Obviously, French are considered by a lot of people not to be the most cost-effective unit when it comes to straight-on fighting, if your opponent has like a lot of pikes. But if you're able to just go with one knight, because one knight does so much damage to villagers, two-shotting them without the textiles upgrade, which Hut doesn't have currently. So Hut has to pull like 5 units just to deal with that one knight. And then MarineLord looks to take other fights elsewhere where he has a numbers advantage and more resources put into his army. So this is something he does really well, and honestly something that I don't do well enough with French when I was playing them. But yeah, you'll hear mixed things about knights at the moment. Some people think they're terrible. Some people, like MarineLord, use them every time they play French in quite big numbers as well. I'm not sure if it's the same for every matchup that he plays, but every time I see him playing French, he's always got a good ball of knights. And at the moment, both Hut and MarineLord are both aging at the moment. But in terms of army, MarineLord's got 16 knights. That's crazy. And he's also got 15 archers as well. So his military advantage is quite big right now. And this just comes down to him raiding and then taking other little engagements while some of Hut's army is split up. And that's just to chase down one knight that is doing damage to Hut's eco. It can't go ignored. Going up with the guild hall. Macro is still like heavy on food, now a bit more on gold just to get upgrades. And he's still got like a moderate amount on wood. I think he'll probably be going Arbitre or... Actually, I just think he'll be going that and knights. Because he expects Hut to most likely go like man-at-arm pike mix, probably. He might just go veteran archers though, to be honest. Because he has so many knights, it's not likely Hut is going to be mixing in like a ridiculous amount of men-at-arms. Oh god, this is brutal. Hut's army is quite out of position right now. Also raiding on there, so pikes were over dealing with a raid. And French knights are the best at diverting your opponent's attention, and that's just what MarineLord does so well. And now Hut's mass is just like not looking comparable to MarineLord's. Hut is also struggling for food. This one knight is just causing havoc and then he's just hitting him in a different direction. Veteran archers coming in now. It's got veteran royal knights as well. Got one range defense, one range attack. Interesting he got range defense. I'm not really sure why he put that in when you can only see barracks as... I guess maybe just to take less damage from town centers and towers. Probably the reason. But Hut really struggling for food right now. Currently at 9 food. I mean, MarineLord honestly makes French look really easy. And then when I play them, I'm like sending knights around my opponent's base. And I just lose them and I'm not capitalizing on my main army while I'm trying to raid. as well as someone like MarineLord does. He honestly makes them look really easy, but they're a simple civ, but they're not necessarily easy to execute. Especially not at this kind of level. And you can see the score difference just massive right now. I'd imagine we're going to see one big fight soon and it's probably going to be GG. I don't see how Hut can come back into this. He's on food now, but... And MarineLord's so patient. He knows he's ahead. He knows he's killed like a bunch of vills and the French TC produces way faster. 41 vills for Hut. 64 for MarineLord. Just crazy gap. He's also got the guild hall. Banking up resources right now, but just patiently waiting. I'm guessing for his upgrades. Yep, he's got Archer 2 attack now. Actually adding in barracks. So here we go, big engagement here, but honestly those knights could nearly take on that whole army. Camel's in there, which is a really nice addition. And he's pulling back the knights on top of his archers so that the horsemen can't get quite good of a surround and the pikemen can't connect fully to the knights here. As you can see, the archers are surviving in the middle and he's just like pushing out with the knights from both sides. Like, just like pretty insane like micro from MarineLord here, just to make sure that his knights were getting solid damage output the whole time and protecting his archers in the middle of them. So well played to MarineLord. Hopefully you enjoyed this and got some takeaways on how you can optimize your French play, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace out.